exactamente, pero se llama es las decisiones de la vida, en inglés life choices,
Mhm.
¿ok? Y empieza de esta manera en cuanto a un señor que se llama Michael,
Mhm.
¿ok? Y dice, Michael is the kind of guy you love to hate. He is always in good mood and always has something positive to say. When someone would ask him, how are you doing? He replied, if I were any better, I would be twins. He was a natural motivator. If an employee was having a bad day, Michael was there telling the employee how to look on the positive side of the situation. Seeing this style really made me curious. So one day, I went up to Michael and asked, I don't get it. You can't be a positive person all the time. How is it that you do it? And Michael replied, each morning I wake up and I say to myself, you have two choices today. You can choose to be in a good mood or you can choose to be in a bad mood. Well, I choose to be in a good mood. Each time something bad happens, I can choose to be a victim or I can choose to learn from it. So I choose rather to learn from it. Every time someone comes to me complaining, I can choose to accept their complaining or I can point out the positive side of life and choose the positive side of life to be done. Yeah, right, that's not easy, I protested. Yes, it is, Michael said. Life is all about choices. When you cut away all the junk, every situation is a choice. You choose how you react to situation. You choose how people affected your mood. You choose to be in a good mood or in a bad mood. It's all up to you. The bottom line is, it's your choice how you live your life. I reflect on what Michael said. So soon after that, I left the tower industry that we used to work together to start my own business. And we lost touch. And I often thought about him when I made a choice about life instead of reacting to it. Several years later, I heard that Michael was involved in a serious accident, falling from 60 feet from a communication tower. After 18 hours surgery and weeks of intensive care, Michael was released from the hospital, but with rods placed in his back. I saw Michael about 6 months after that incident that he had. When I asked him how he was, he replied, if I were any better, I'd be twins. Want to see my scars? And I declined to see his wound, but I did ask him what had gone through his mind as the accident took place. And the first thing that went through my mind, Michael said, was that the well-being of my soon-to-be born daughter. Michael replied, then as I lay on the ground, I remembered that I had two choices. I could choose to live or I could choose to die. I choose to live. Weren't you scared? I asked him. Did you lose any conscience? I asked. Michael continued, well, the paramedics were great. They kept telling me I was going to be fine. But when they wheeled me into the ER and I saw the expression on the faces of the doctors and nurses, it kind of got me a little scared. Because in their eyes, I see that I can read that they were saying, he's a dead man. I knew I needed to take action. What did you do? I asked. Well, there was a nice nurse there shooting out questions at me, and she said, Michael, she asked, if I was allergic, she asked, Michael, are you allergic to anything? And I replied, yes. The doctor and nurses stopped working and they waited for my response. And I took a deep breath and yelled, gravity. Over there, they started laughing, and I told them, I am choosing to live. Operate on me as I am alive, not dead. Michael lived thanks to the skill of his doctor, but also because of his amazing attitude. I learned from him that every day we have to choose to live fully. Attitude, after all, is everything. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. After all, today is the tomorrow you worry about yesterday. Enjoy each day, each breath, and mostly each and every friend that you have next to you. You see, life is about choices. You decide. You decide whether you want to go ahead and be sad or you want to be happy.
Los doctores,
You decide whether you want to accept what the doctor's telling you, like we were talking about, Peter was talking about earlier, you know, that gives you a bad news that you have cancer or you have a tumor. You decide to make that choice of taking what the doctor tell you, or you decide to say and put your faith in God and says, you know what, I'm not taking that. I am healed by the blood of Christ Jesus. I am not taking of being being teared down by negative things, but I'm going to turn those negative things into positive things and have a good attitude all the time. It's your choice. So you can give us a call if you want to at 413-781-9226, 413-781-5403, or 413-781-5201. We're here to answer any questions you have.
No, los doctores estaban allí